So in today's forecast, we're going to break down all the weather that you need to know is going to hit the United States in the next few days. Starting with precipitation type, we got a bit of some heavy snow going on in the Great Lakes region. That we could see a little bit of lake effect snow in the Lake Erie, Buffalo area. But that's all going to move out of the area. Not a lot of snow, but very cold weather is going to move in. That's what we're going to talk about later in the video. Going into Monday, we can see an area of high pressure in the central United States, and that's going to keep things pretty calm over there. So, places like Missouri, the southern United States, we could be seeing a bit of a drought going on. We'll get into the temperature outlooks later in the video. By Wednesday, we can see another low pressure system bringing some snow to the Great Lakes region. This one is going to be more intense than the first one that's going to hit. And I think we could see some lake effect snow out of that. And then moving on, we can see some more snow in the northeastern United States, but it's not going to be as intense. We'll get much into the precipitation type later in the video. Now we're looking at the jet stream. Very strong upper winds going on in the northern Atlantic Ocean. That'll kind of become a dip in the jet stream, and we can see a very organized dip in the jet stream going on. Starting right here. That's what's going to bring some of that very cold weather moving in. And then the one in the Pacific Northwest, that's going to bring some very strong upper winds. That's what's bringing that very cold weather into the central United States. Moving on to Wednesday evening, this starts organizing into more of a very organized dip in the jet stream. By Thursday, we can be seeing some very cold weather going on in the Great Lakes region. I'm talking about negative 20-degree weather. And then around Thursday evening, this jet stream will start to organize a lot more. And then moving on, more and more uncertain on what exactly is going to happen. But look at this jet stream. It is very organized. And that's going to bring some extremely cold air to the southern United States, especially the eastern United States. Florida, you're not going to get this, but, that's crazy. And it's going to become so intense that it'll kind of just turn to one little low-pressure system and move into the Atlantic Ocean. Now we're going on to precipitation type, the GFS models. You can see that the area of heavy snow going on in the Lake Erie area. With some lake effect snow, we can see 4 to 8 inches of snow in those areas, 3 to 6 in Chicago, and by Monday morning we can be seeing some snowfall as far south as the Virginias, maybe even some snow flurries in far eastern Kentucky and Tennessee. So very unusual thing right there. That's because of that very cold air that's coming in. So we'll get into temperatures right after we're looking at this precipitation type. So we can see, let's say, maybe a coating to an inch, 1 to 2 inches of snow is possible in the Virginia's area. So not a lot, but you still got some snow, and that'll cause some dangerous road conditions. After that, by Monday, early Tuesday morning, we're going to be seeing a winter storm that's going to move through the Toronto area, and then right after that, you're just going to get maybe like a 4-hour break right in those areas that I just circled in the Great Lakes region, and then a huge winter storm is going to come in right behind that. So we're talking 4 to 8 inches of snow for the Great Lakes region. So watch it. Make sure you're prepared for that. This is going to happen mid next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as the main times you should watch out for. And then on the south side of this, like Chicago, you're just going to get some rain, which is very unusual. So Chicago, you might not see any snow on Wednesday. So, that's very unlikely. And then some, that's because of that very warm air that's going to come up during the day in the central United States. We can see above average temperatures, obviously, for Chicago. Then we can see a little break around Thursday morning, early Thursday morning in the Great Lakes region, and then another winter storm will come in. Not really necessarily a winter storm, but an area of heavy snowfall, somewhat of a winter storm, will move into places as far south as southern Illinois, northern Missouri, Places like St. Louis will experience some probably 2 to 4 inches of snow at the most. Maybe we some areas will experience an isolated 6 inches of snow, but it's not a lot of snow. And then moving on, more and more uncertain on what exactly is going to happen. By the 13th, it's looking pretty dry over the majority of the United States, especially the southern United States. Then we can see another somewhat of a winter storm up in the northern Ohio Valley into the northeast. By next Thursday, we can see a winter storm going on in southern Canada into the northern Great Lakes region, where we can see an isolated 4 to 8 inches of snow. So definitely watch out for that. But then it looks like after that, we can see a break in the rain and snow and all that. Friday, we're going to see some rain going on in the Toronto, Chicago, New York, upstate New York area. And then in near New England, the New England area, we can see some ice, sleet, and snow by Friday evening. And then moving on, more and more uncertain on what exactly is going to happen. This is the 19th. So dangerous road conditions up there, especially in southeastern Canada. And then by the 20th, we're going to be seeing somewhat of a winter storm going on in the central Illinois and Indiana areas, with some sleet and ice being possible in the St. Louis area. Again, this is very far out in the future, so it's hard to know exactly what's going to happen. We're going to be seeing some rain in the Kentucky area. But yeah, we're going to definitely be seeing some of that ice. And then by the 22nd, we can see a major winter storm going on in the Great Lakes region, but it's too far out to know exactly what's going to happen. But it's looking like we can see somewhat of a winter storm going on up in the Great Lakes region, especially up in the Toronto area. All right, now we're going to move on to temperatures. Got a low pressure system going on in there. That's not going to really do anything except for a little bit of rain, cloudy weather. But then our main focus is today, we're going to be seeing two high pressure systems going on. One of them in the northeast and one of them in the northern plains. This one in the northern plains is going to bring negative 20-degree weather, and again, that's not just wind chill. That wind chill is maybe like 25 to 30 degrees below average, so absolutely insane. By the way, I'm using Fahrenheit, just so you are wondering. And then moving on, there's an area of high pressure that's going to move through the northeast, bringing some lower than average temperatures. Temperatures in the lower teens into the single digits. And then by Tuesday, we can see some warmer weather going on as far north as Nebraska. We can be seeing some 40 to 50 degree weather. So, if you hate the cold, good news for you, especially you guys in Texas. That's not going to last long. A low pressure system is going to move in, and a cold front will move in, and that's going to bring temperatures back to the mid-teens. Moving on, here's that low pressure system that's going to move in. You can see that green right there. That's that warmer weather, and then I'm circling that low pressure system, that warm front, and then that cold front in the northern part of this, and that's going to just swing by around Wednesday, the 11th, and that'll bring some colder weather back into the central United States. And then moving on, an area of high pressure will exist over the Iowa area. And then all of a sudden, a huge polar vortex from Canada is going to move in, split right there in the Rockies. Right on the Rockies. Here it is. You can see an area of high pressure, and it's all just going to swing into the central United States. Look at that. Area of high pressure. And that's going to swing in places as far south as Georgia. We'll experience some temperatures in the mid-20s. So absolutely crazy polar vortex that's coming in. Places like northern Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, all those places could experience some negative 20-degree weather. So places like St. Louis, we're going to be seeing some negative 7-degree weather. Places in Springfield by Friday, Saturday, Friday and Saturday, we can be seeing some real field temperatures, like -10. So absolutely crazy weather going on. -1 degree weather in Iowa and Friday evening. So very cold weather. A lot of the snow is going to stay there if it comes down at this time. But as we move on, it's going to become more and more uncertain on what exactly is going to happen. This cold weather is going to stay there for a long, long time. So those of you in the California area and northern Mexico, if any of you are watching from there, it's going to stay pretty warm. Southern Florida, places like Orlando will experience some 32-degree weather, maybe. Like 40-degree weather is possible for places as far south as Pensacola. So really crazy weather going on. Then another high pressure system will exist in southeastern Canada. And you're watching from there. Be ready for some very cold weather next week on Thursday through Monday. If you live anywhere in the southern to northern United States and to southern Canada. Share this to anyone you know that's going to be impacted by this. Stay safe out there, everyone. Then moving on by Sunday, it's uncertain on what exactly is going to happen. But it looks like there's going to be a high-pressure system existing near the Kentucky area. And that it's not going to be as cold, but we can still see some far below average temperatures. And then moving on Monday, next Monday, very cold weather. And then you can see that low pressure system that's going to bring a cold front by Monday. And then, more cold air is going to move in. So very active forecast, guys. Make sure you subscribe with the notification bell on. Stay tuned for more updates as we move on. It looks like places like Little Rock will experience some 22-degree weather. Lower 20s by next Tuesday. So watch out for that if you live anywhere as far south as Arkansas. I think places as far south as southern Alabama and Mississippi could see some temperatures in the upper 20s. So, very cold weather, very active weather pattern. And then it looks like by Tuesday we're going to be seeing during the day on Tuesday, we're going to be seeing some very warm weather going on in the southern United States, especially southern Texas. We can see temperatures in the 70s, so nice break from the cold if you hate the cold, especially for places that don't usually experience that cold. Then moving on, not as warm weather on next Tuesday on the 23rd, but we could see some kind of hurricane going on near the Orlando area, so that's actually surprising. Look at that. But this is way far in the future, so it's probably not going to happen, but that's cool to see that on there. We got a marginal risk of severe weather for today. It looks like it's happening as right now as I post this video. Around 5 p.m. 4 to 6 p.m. Here's the temperature outlooks. This is the 6 to 10 day outlook. Very cold weather near the northeast, northern Ohio Valley, and then this is the 8 to 14 day outlook. It'll calm down more warmer than average temperatures in the California area. This is the 1 month outlook right here. And now we're moving on to the precipitation outlook. Very dry weather going on in the southern United States. That's what I was talking about. We can see that drought going on in Atlanta. So very cold weather, but dry weather. So that's why we're not going to see a lot of that snow like we did last year in the places as far south as Pensacola. That one was crazy. We will see higher than average precipitation going on in the northern United States, especially the Pacific Northwest. So stay tuned because you can be seeing a very active forecast. Again, sorry I wasn't able to post yesterday. I was kind of busy, so here's a video. I'm just kind of saying that real late, but it's fine. This is a 3 month outlook. We're going to be seeing some very dry weather going on in places like Florida and all that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. That means a lot to me, and see you in the next one.